Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Karen's Kitchen. I'm doing another spice today, one that my daughter happened to find on Pinterest, and she sent it to me, so I went and I'm going to go ahead and do it. But I want to get some people in here first before. There's Erlene. Welcome. Joe Butler. All those that are coming in, thank you for coming in. Thank you for sharing this out. Thank you for inviting your followers. There's Kristen. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good to see you. I know people, before you start, people are going to say it's cloudy and foggy out. I can't help it, but the sunshine comes through my window. It's been real bright lately, so there isn't much I can do about that. So you'll have to deal with it. When the weather starts changing, it won't be so bright. Anyway, I want to get some few people in here before I do this. Does anybody know what's happened to the hurricane? The last I heard, it had stalled in the Bahamas and was stuck there. Has it moved on? I know it was supposed to eventually move on into Florida. I was just wondering if it's oh, wonderful, all's well here. I'm just wondering if it's still stalled, or has it reached landfall in Florida, because I know it's supposed to. It's supposed to reach landfall. Oh, it's supposed to land in Florida tonight. Wow. Well, I hope that they stay safe, that they batten down the hatches and they're prepared for what's to come, because around 9 p.m., oh my. So I'm sure it's going to get bad. Hurricanes are bad anyway, but I heard that it really demolished the Bahamas. Yeah, me too, since she did not evacuate when she was supposed to. I can understand that too. I feel like her. I don't want to leave my home, because you don't want to come back to devastation. They want to stay there, but you don't want anything happening to them either. You can replace the house, but you can't replace them. So, she had places she could have gone, but I can understand her mom didn't want to leave her home. And then, I feel the same way. It would be very hard for me to leave as well. But other than that, what's everybody's temperature out there? We're going to be in the 80s today. 90 by Thursday, but then we're going to start cooling down in the 70s. We're going to start getting a lot colder, and I'm glad we are, because I'm tired of all the heat. Last week, the heat was unbearable. We had 2 days of, hi, good to see you, welcome. We had two days of unbearable heat in the hundreds. You're right, I agree, but they wanted to stay, and her mom being 80 years old, oh, 76? That's not too bad in Chicago. Not too bad. Oh, yes, you're the one from Morocco. I have watched your replays. I don't get in there live, but I do see your replays. That's a beautiful place. Hi, good to see you. Welcome. 67 in Morocco. Wow. That's ideal temperatures. Like I said, we had 2 days last week that got into 100. That was unbearable. Just absolutely unbearable. I couldn't, it was horrible. But we're getting to the end of the season pretty soon anyway. This month will be fall, so we should start going the other way. But thank you for the super hearts. The only thing I'm concerned about is, are we going to get real cold this winter? Because this winter can be. I'm in the state of Oregon, southwest Oregon, about 125 miles from Portland. I love it here in Oregon. Our winters aren't real bad. We haven't had real bad winters lately, except this year in February. Last Sunday in February, we had 18 inches of snow, so it can happen. I'm just concerned about this winter. What's it going to do? Hopefully, it won't do anything, but you never know. Hi, Missy. Good to see you. But you never know what weather's going to do. I'm glad I'm getting so many people in here today. I guess good to see you. I guess everybody wants to learn how to make curry powder, And when I saw this recipe, because I don't like things hot, and this is a mild curry powder. You can put it in anything, anything with that calls for curry, and you won't have to worry about the heat, because I don't care for heat. Now, Erlene had posted a vegan recipe on my vegan Facebook page that was potato curry, and it looks so nice. Hi, good to see you. And she told me what she had put in it, and that she makes her own curry as well too. She doesn't buy it, because when you buy it in the store, you don't know what you're getting. You love curry. lived in Hawaii for a year and a half, and we had a lot of curry there. But the problem of it was so hot and spicy, I couldn't hardly eat it. Oh, thank you. I got it at Walmart not too awful long ago. I like fancy stuff like this, so I got it. And everybody can see, I put my doll down here. I hope you can see her now. I decided to move her down here. So that's my mini-me. But I was so concerned about that hurricane because I know it was stalled there in the Bahamas for a while, and I'm concerned about Alexis because she's staying in her house, and it can be spicy. Depends on what you put in it. I'm going to put all mild stuff in it. However, you can put ginger powder in it and also cayenne pepper to make it hot. No, I didn't. I didn't give her a name. It's just my mini-me, so I never thought of giving her a name, really. So I just like, she's just a reflection of me is all she is. So I just kind of left it go with that, and didn't give her a name. Anyway, I'm getting people in here now, so I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make this. Now my iPad the battery was down on it, and I have to charge it up. So I thought, well, I'll hurry up and write this recipe down before the battery goes dead. So I wrote the recipe down on this card. It's only 4 ingredients if I want to get the right amounts. So it calls for 2 tablespoons of ground turmeric, which seems like a lot of turmeric, but turmeric gives you good color. So, and I think I've got some more turmeric. I think I've got 2 tablespoons in here, but I'm gonna let me put this down so you can see what I'm doing first of all. I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. I always forget that. You got to be able to see what I'm doing. That's the whole idea of coming in here, watching me. Okay. But see, I cannot stick this spoon in here, so I'm going to have to do it this way. Try to level it off as much as I can. Get close enough to 2 cups, or two cups. Whoa, 2 cups? Yeah. 2 cups, it would really make it spicy. Well, turmeric isn't really spicy anyways. It gives you more color. That's comparatively, there, that's, now it just about finishes it out. Just empty it. There, that finishes it out. I've got a new one. I might just save this for other spices that I make, and I could probably could save this jar for the spice that I'm making if I can get it in there. I can wash the jar out because it has to be in an airtight container. And it'll last for a couple months, they said, and you can freeze it too, I guess. So it's 2 tablespoons of ground coriander. Okay, here's my coriander. Okay, now I can get that get it in here. These are bigger, better jars. Those are just narrow mouths. You can't get it in those. And this bowl that I'm using is one of the Pampered Chef stoneware bowls. I happened to get it out. I thought, well, I'll just use that. The other one I was dirty because I used it for my fruit bowl I had this morning for breakfast. I love fruit in the morning, so I had a peach and a banana and fruit and some toast. And it was an awesome breakfast. It was really good. Okay, got that one. And now whoa. Okay, let me do this. Let me do this right. Okay. And then it calls for 1 tablespoon of ground cumin. You don't want to put as much cumin in there as you would your others, because that, cumin can really be overpowering too. There we go. And then I've got, and then just 1 teaspoon of ground cardamom. That isn't much to that. Cardamom. Cardamom, as everybody knows, that I use cardamom in place of cinnamon. So here's the cardamom. Did I get everything out here? Wait a minute. I might have one missing. Do I have, let's see, turmeric, coriander, cumin. Yeah, I got my cumin out. Cardamom. Oh, yes, that's right. My turmeric, I used it up. Okay, and let's see. And 1 teaspoon. I believe I can get my teaspoon in there. Now, where'd I put it? Right here. Yeah, I can get this in here because this is smaller. 1 teaspoon of cumin. Or cardamom. Cardamom. I'll make sure I got the right one here. First, I thought I was, everything was playing tricks on me. I thought it was, okay, now I'm going to get a spoon out. I'm going to get a spoon, and you're going to watch me stir this up. And this doesn't make a lot, but it just makes a small batch, just enough and then you can always make some more again. I'll just leave this sit here until I get done with, and get off of here, and then I'll put it in the container. But there is the curry powder. Doesn't it look like the curry you buy in the store? Why buy it in the store when you can make it yourself? That's what I say. Make it yourself. You know what's in it that way. This has got everything in it that I can have and nothing that I don't want. Like I said, you can also put ginger powder in it, and you can also optional ginger powder, which I think you'd have to get that through Amazon, and cayenne pepper, which I don't care for cayenne pepper. That gives you the heat, so I won't use that. But here you got a simple recipe. And all it has is turmeric, cumin, coriander, and cardamom in it. That's it. There's your curry powder. Very simple to make. You don't have to worry about going and buying it. And it's got a good smell to it too. You know, because the powder you got in the store, you don't know what's all in it unless you look at the ingredients on it. You know, like somebody said, the Indian would be a little spicier than the American because they add a lot of. Probably that's where your heat comes in, like your cayenne, stuff like that, you know, red pepper flakes, which I think this is what cayenne is. But if you could make your own, go ahead and make it. It's a lot simpler to make than buying it. That's what I'm going to do from now on, is make my own. So I have this on hand, and then when you run out, you can always make more. Because I found recipes that on Pinterest that I want to do that take curry powder, but I didn't have any made, and I didn't want to go buy any. I thought, well, that stuff in the store might be too hot. I want to make my own, because Erlene, she made her own to make that potato curry. Oh, you're welcome. You're so welcome. Because Erlene, on my vegan Facebook page, she put the potato curry, and it was awesome. Is regular curry powder non-vegan though? You know, I really don't know. It depends. I don't know if you can consider this spice. I always put vegan in my recipes, or on my periscopes to let people know that I am a vegan. Basically, I'm not saying this is vegan per se, but I like to put that in there and let people know that I cook vegan. I think you probably have to do some research on that. You know, I haven't really done any research on it, so I really couldn't tell you. I really don't know. That's a good question. It'd be something I would like to think about too. I'm going to move her over just a little bit so people can see her better. That's kind of something I'm wondering about too. That might give me something to do. Give me research on it. But I come in here showing you that you can make your own food, no matter what it is. And a lot of the recipes that I find, I veganize them. They may have something in there that I don't particularly use, like cremini mushrooms, shiitake mushrooms, or would have maybe apple cider vinegar. I leave those out, so I'll veganize it. And I may add something else, substitute for it if I can, or just leave it out completely. So I veganize the recipes because every recipe can be tweaked. It's not set in stone. You know, it's just a basic recipe. You can add to it or take away from it or do anything to it that you can to make it taste the way you like it, because everybody's got a different taste. You know, you don't like the same things I like, and I don't like the same things you like. So you have to go by your taste buds. What does your taste buds tell you? Now, I've never really had curry except that in Hawaii, and it kind of turned me off of curry. That's why I haven't been putting it in dishes here, because I thought, well, curry powder is so hot. Well, there in Hawaii, that's understandable too, because there's a lot of Orientals in Hawaii, and they like hot foods. You know, you had your Japanese, you had your Chinese, you had your from Thailand and places like that, in Taiwan, and they like that kind of stuff. And for the fellowship meals on Sabbath after church, they would have curry powder. They put a lot of stuff, and they would just douse that with curry. And oh my goodness, I remember one dish I had, and I cannot remember what the dish was, because that's been too long ago now. But all I can remember is tasting the curry, and I couldn't get enough water down to, I couldn't even eat it. It was just terrible. I thought, well, if this is what curry powder tastes like, I don't want any part of it. So I've kind of hesitated making any, But when my daughter found this morning and says, Mom, this isn't spicy at all, this is mild, I thought, well, I might as well try it, because I use cardamom, I use cumin, I use the turmeric, and I also use the coriander for, you know, different recipes. So I figured it would be okay. I think it's going to be awesome. It's not going to be hot. It's real mild, because you know me, I don't do hot stuff. Now, there are some people that love hot stuff. I don't like anything real hot. Why put your body through that stuff? If you don't have to have hot stuff, don't do it, because it's not good for your body. I would rather have something mild, something that's not going to hurt me. That's why I did this. So I can make, because there's soups that you put a little curry powder in too. I wanted, because there was a soup I saw I wanted to do. It looked real good, but I didn't have the curry powder, and I wasn't about to buy any. I'm just hesitate buying that, you know. I mean, I buy the normal spices like your cardamom, coriander, and stuff like that, because they're okay. But when it comes to curry powder, that's totally different, because that's a little bit spicy. Chili powder can be too. You make your own. You can, you know, kind of tone it down a little. But I try to make my own like Alexis does. Make your own foods. You can make. Hi, Alexis. Here's my curry powder I made, and I'll tell you exactly what it's got. It's only got 4 ingredients, Alexis. It's got 2 tablespoons of ground turmeric, 2 tablespoons of ground coriander, 1 tablespoon of ground cumin, and 1 teaspoon of ground cardamom. Now you can't put optional in ginger powder, which I guess that's in certain places you can get that, and cayenne pepper if you want to add those in there too. There's optional. I chose not to because I don't like the heat. I don't have the ginger powder anyway. Oh, you're finally getting to a park. Oh, you're finally getting to park. Oh, good. Good to see you. Welcome, Erlene. But I like making my own stuff. If you don't follow Alexis, follow Alexis, and she has real good periscopes too. She makes all her own foods as well. She cut up a 4-pound melon this morning, or cantaloupe. Oh, that thing really looked nice. I bet you are. Just tell Brandon to cool it for a little bit and let you stop driving, because you never get a break much at all. Every day you got to take the car out. You put a lot of miles on it that way, you know. But anyway, you make your own foods. At least you know what's in them. You know the ingredients you put in them, and you're not worrying about something that may have been in there that's going to be harmful to you. So that's why I make my own. I love making my own. This is a Pampered Chef bowl. Those that may not know, and looks like there's 20 or so in, I'll see Orlean, but everybody else supposed to be in the background lurking. But anyway, I'm having a party starting Sunday. The link for my show is in Alexis's profile. Just go into her Periscope if you're following her, and click on that link, and you can see see everything that she's got posted. And then buy from my party. You can buy from my party ahead of time, because I want to get the minimum so I can get that blender. I want to get the PC blender at least 50-60% off. Erlene wants to get it too. She can get it under me about 50% off. I want to have a good, successful party, so that's why I'm trying to promote it now, so I can get people to buy their Pampered Chef now. You've got parties going on now. Cody's party's going on, and Trisha Z's going on. You can buy from them as well. And like I said, my party's starting next week, starting on Sunday. Oh, yeah, I know you can't type driving. I know, Alexis. That's okay. And I want to say congratulations to Erlene for winning the mystery host box. That was awesome that she won the mystery host box. Something told me she was going to win again. I don't know what it was, but it seems like every time there's something going on and she enters something, she wins. She's a magnet for winning. But she got a lot of nice stuff, as I understand. I saw some of it because I got in her Alexis's Facebook Live yesterday just after she started. So I'll have to go back and watch the replay on some of the items. But it looks like she's got some real nice items in there. So Erlene's going to have a lot of nice things to use. And I guess this is the stuff that Alexis bought back in July at the convention, when there were stuff that was being discontinued, which is awesome. And as I understand it, she's going to have a box for the September host too, which means that I'll be able to get a mystery, put my name for a box depending on how many sales comes through. Like I said, my party hasn't started yet, so you can start thinking about what you want and go into the catalog and look at the catalog, because I would think most people would want to see the new products coming out, like the blender. They would want that, and a few of the other products that are new. That's one reason why I decided to do it this month, because of the new products coming out. I'm kind of curious about some of those new products. I want to try them, but especially the blender. I may have to buy me another one of these, because I made a mistake when I was cooking. I made some fried potatoes for lunch. Don't laugh at me for doing this. We all make mistakes, okay? I had it sitting next to my quick cooker, partly on the burner and partly on the counter because it wouldn't fit. So what does I do? I turns that burner on where it's sitting on. I didn't even know I turned that burner on. I thought I was turning the front burner on for my potatoes. All of a sudden, I see it smoking. And I said, oh, no! I started setting the plastic on and melted some of the plastic on it at the bottom. I got the burner cleaned off, though, after it cooled down. I got the burner, but I thought, oh, no! But it didn't ruin it much, just a little bit on the bottom, thank goodness. But I was so devastated by myself. I was mad at myself for doing that. But I think we all make mistakes, and you learn by doing it. So I'm not putting that down there anymore. It's going to stay up here for the time being. So you have to be real careful, because I forgot that. I thought I was turning around the front burner, and I ended up turning the back burner on. So I burned it a little bit, melted the plastic, but it's okay. It still works. It goes around and around and around, so it's still nothing. It's just a little bit on the bottom, but you got to be so careful of that. Let me get some water. So I don't know what I'm going to get besides the blender. I'll have to see. I think I do want the stuff for the quick cooker, the steamer baskets, because you can steam broccoli, you can steam cauliflower in it. I like to have that too, because I'm getting tired of getting my steamer out and putting it on the stove, filling it with water, and then letting the water heat up. So it takes so much longer. The quick cooker would take no time at all. Probably put it on the steam setting, and for just a minute or two, probably whatever, just blanch the stuff is basically all you want to do. Just blanch it, because it depends what you're doing with it. Sometimes for soup, you blanch it for just a little bit, and then put it in your soup. Now, the quick cooker, you can put everything in there raw, like your broccoli and all your potatoes and everything, because it cooks everything for you anyway in the quick cooker. The blender will do the same thing. The Vitamix will not do that. The Vitamix, you'll have to, if you're going to make anything like a potato soup, you have to cook your potatoes first. That's the only thing bad about that. You got to cook everything first. Welcome to those coming in, and thank you for coming in. That's why I want the PC blender, so I can have a cooking blender. I mean, I'm still going to use the Vitamix a time or two, because I like smoothies in it and things like that. But I'll use the PC blender as well. Kind of compare the two and see how well they are. But I love the fact that Alexis uses hers a lot. Hi, good to see you, Honor. Welcome. Here's my curry powder. It's just 4 main ingredients. Very, very mild, very simple. And I'll give you the ingredients. 2 tablespoons of ground turmeric, 2 tablespoons of ground coriander, 1 tablespoon of ground cumin, and 1 teaspoon of ground cardamom. Good to see you. Welcome. Good afternoon to you too. This is amazing. Everybody coming in here. I thank you so much for supporting me on this, and thank you for the super hearts and the regular hearts too. You guys are very kind and loving, and I appreciate every bit of it. I'm sure Alexis does too, because it lets us know that Periscope is working when you tap those hearts. Even on the replay, lets us know that Periscope is working, because it does have its problems, let me tell you. So, but I'm hoping that everybody is staying safe from that hurricane. I know the last I knew, it was still stalled in Bahamas, and they said it's going to hit Florida tonight. I hope you're going to stay safe, Alexis. I hope that you don't get flooding and get water in your house. I'm a little worried about you and your mom not leaving. But I can understand why you're not, because it's hard to leave your home, because you don't want to go to somebody else's home, because it's total difference to, different different area, and you're not familiar with it unless you've been there before, and it's not the same as being in your own home, because you just, you don't feel right, because you're in somebody else's home, and you get you can't just do anything you want. So I can understand why you're staying there, but still I'm a little concerned. I'm hoping that you guys don't get hit with that hurricane, and then you end up getting getting water in your house. That's the worst thing, getting water. Is it still raining there, Alexis, or did it finally stop? So I know on your Facebook, your live, it was pouring down. If you didn't watch Alexis's Facebook live, go in there from yesterday. It was pouring down. You could hear it. It was coming down in buckets. So that they were getting the beginning of that hurricane. Wow. I mean, that was really a lot of heavy rain. We're supposed to get rain, I think, tomorrow night or Thursday night. We're supposed to get thunderstorms, which is very rare for us here in Oregon. We just don't get thunderstorms. We can get thunder, but it doesn't seem to last. Maybe 1 or 2 claps of thunder, and then it rains, and then you don't get any more thunder or lightning the rest of the time. We just basically get rain. We did have rain last Wednesday and the Wednesday before, which I was surprised that we even got rain at all, because here in Oregon, when it stops raining in May, it stays off until about the end of October, middle of October, end of October, something like that. And then we rain and we rain and we rain, and it doesn't want to stop raining. So by us getting good rain, last week we got a good soaker. It was nice, a real good rain. So I'm not really watering my grass as much now anymore. I don't think I'm going to have to, because it's going to start raining pretty soon, so I can put my sprinkler away and tie my hose up and get it put away too. I've still got it in the yard yet, just in case it gets real hot, but it doesn't look like it's going to be too bad. And just one day this week, Thursday, it's supposed to get to 90, but other than that, we're going to have pretty mild temperatures. Hi, Gary. Good to see you. Welcome. Here is my curry powder. Only 4 ingredients. You've got cumin, cardamom, turmeric, and coriander in it. Very simple recipe. I like the mild. You can, however, put ginger powder in it and cayenne pepper if you want to. Those are the options. That's optional. You can also put those in there if you want to. Now this will have to go into a airtight container, and it lasts in the airtight container, they said, for 2 months, which is real good. So I'll put that in an airtight container when I get off here. But I wanted to show it to you. You can make your own, and it does. It looks just like curry powder. It does. And everybody knows this bowl. This is one of those bowls from Pampered Chef. The stoneware, which I've never had stoneware before. The other one's in the sink dirty because I had my fruit in it this morning. I know it does, because I don't like heat. As I found a lot of recipes on Pinterest, that like soup recipes and stuff that have curry in it, curry powder, and I thought, well, I don't want to go out and buy curry powder. I wonder if you can make it. Well, my daughter was looking on Pinterest this morning, and she happened to see this recipe, and she says, Mom, there's a recipe for curry powder. Let me send it to you. So she sent it to me on Pinterest, and then I pinned it. And I thought, this is awesome, because these are things I use anyway. I use all of these: cardamom, coriander, turmeric, and the cumin. I use those in different recipes as it is. Really, that's awesome, yes. And you save money by making it yourself versus buying it in the store. Buying it in the store, these little jars like this are not very cheap. They're very expensive. This does last a while. It's only about a teaspoon or something at a time, but they're very expensive to buy them. But I buy them organic because because I feel it's best that way. So I'm getting tired of paying for those jars. They're nice. These are nice jars to have to put seasonings in when they get empty. But to have to buy them, it's really, really expensive. And if you make it yourself, you don't have to buy it so often. Make it and use it, and you've got it. It didn't make a heck of a lot, but it made it enough. And they're organic. Awesome. Well, these I get at Walmart. In the spice aisle, at Walmart, they have these organic, and I've been buying the organic. Of course, they have non-organic too, but I've been getting the organic ones. As you can see, this is the cumin's organic. So I try to buy organic whenever I can. I feel it's best. So everything in this curry powders are all organic. Just take the recipe. 2 tablespoons of your 2 tablespoons of turmeric, ground coriander, and 1 tablespoon of cumin, and then 1 teaspoon of your cardamom. Good afternoon. Good to see you. There's my daughter. Here, sweetie. Here's the curry powder. It turned out really good. Thank you for the recipe. My daughter found the recipe on Pinterest. And she sent it to me on Pinterest, and I was so glad she did because this is going to be awesome. She can make her own curry powder too, and she's starting to make a lot of her stuff too herself. Hi, Deb. Good to see you. Welcome. Thank you for coming in. Everybody that's here, thank you for that. Here I made my own curry powder. Just takes 4 ingredients. Your turmeric, your cumin, your coriander, and what did I say the other one was? Cardamom. And that's all. Just, yes, real awesome. And I'll repeat the recipe down. The reason I wrote this down is I usually put it on my iPad. I do have it on my iPad, but my iPad, the battery was dead on it, or almost dead. I thought by the time I get off of here, I won't have any battery left. So I thought I better write it down real quick. So I wrote it down on this card so I could do it in here. And it's basically you just put it in a bowl, stir it all together, and then you put it into an airtight container, and it lasts for a couple months, they said. So it's two tablespoons of ground turmeric and 2 tablespoons of ground coriander, 1 tablespoon of ground cumin, and 1 teaspoon of ground cardamom. That is it. And if you're like me, you use all those seasonings, no problem, because I use them in different things I make. You know, I use cardamom in place of cinnamon. I use turmeric for the color. I use a lot of cumin. Cumin is one of the ones I use a lot of. So this was no problem being able to make this recipe. When my daughter sent it to me and I saw what was in it, and like I said, it's optional that you can use ginger powder, which is different than ground ginger. You'd have to look it up, but I guess you can get it through Amazon. I don't know what stores have it. I bet it did. Oh, that looks so good, Yamil. I know that looks so awesome. Hi, Libby. Good to see you. Those that are just coming in, if I didn't say hi to you, hi everyone, as I was busy talking. This is the curry powder that I made. 4 ingredients. That is all, and they're very mild ingredients. Now, if you want to put some heat to it, and you want to, oh, they have powdered ginger? Do they really? Oh, awesome. Good to see you. Welcome. I didn't even know that they had powdered ginger. Well, I don't really, I really haven't looked anyway, but in the spice aisle, I get all my, I get my organic spices. I buy them in this container. They're real good for that organic. Oh, you just got home. Finally made it home. Anyway, this curry powder, you make it yourself. You don't have to worry about what's in it. You know exactly what. Yeah, that's what I said too, Yamil. She was real lucky to win that. Curry vegetables sound good. Yes, Erlene had made a potato curry that she had posted into my vegan Facebook group yesterday, and it looks so good. And I looked at the recipe, and I didn't see any curry in it, but she made her own curry. She didn't buy curry powder. She made her own curry. So if you make your own curry, oh, it is. Oh, oh, you did. You don't have to look that for it. I didn't know they had powdered ginger. But I don't use it much anyway. But I'm gonna like this because I use all these products anyway. All these spices, your cardamom, your turmeric, your cumin, and your coriander. I use those anyway periodically in different recipes, and just mixing them all together. It does look like curry powder when they're mixed together. Look at that. Looks just like curry powder. And it's going to be mild. There's no strong smell to it at all. Like I said, it's optional that you can put the ginger powder in it, and you can use cayenne pepper. Now, I don't like cayenne pepper. Oh, yeah. Oh. You can also get it on Amazon. Okay, yeah, because I shop at Amazon. So if you want to put ginger powder in it, or you want to put cayenne pepper in it, feel free to do that. They are optional, but you can put those in there. But mainly you put your cardamom, your turmeric, your cumin, and your coriander in it, your main ingredients, and then you can add those others as optional. And this is simple to make. I mix it all together, and it looks like curry powder. It's a lot better to make your own than to buy it. You're not beholden to the manufacturers of any of the products that you buy. At least you know when you make it yourself, you know what's in it. You're not guessing. You can look at it and say, well, this is what I put into it, which is awesome because I like making my own foods because I know you guys enjoy watching me make my own, and you don't have to worry about what I put in it because I tell you exactly what I put in it. And like I said, if you want to deviate from the recipe, you can feel free to do that because no recipe is set in stone. So you can deviate and you can tweak it to your liking because you like things totally different than I do. Some people that like hot stuff may want to put the cayenne pepper in there and the ginger powder. I think it's going to taste good for me just the way it is. It absolutely is. You are so right. Cooking it, absolutely. You're not beholden to anybody. Cook it yourself. You know what's in it that way. You're not trying to guess. Because do you really know where those chemicals are coming from, the components of the chemicals in the products you buy? You really don't. And if you don't look at the ingredient list, you're not sure what you're putting, what the chemicals are either. I was telling you yesterday, and I'll go back and tell you today, there's one ingredient that I make sure that is not in anything I buy, and that's carrageenan. That seems to jump out at me when I look at any products and I look at the ingredient list. That's the first one that jumps out at me was the carrageenan. And anything with carrageenan in it, I won't buy it. The carrageenan hurts your immune system, and it might be something else that it affects too. You have to do some research on it, but it's not a very good product. I know my grandson, my oldest grandson, is engaged to a girl that cannot have anything with carrageenan in it. So when he comes to visit my daughter, she has to make sure that she buys things without carrageenan. And that can be really hard because carrageenan seems to be in about anything anymore. So my thing to you is, please, when you go shopping at the store, look at your ingredient list carefully. Turn it over on the back or on the bottom or wherever the ingredient list might be, because it's in different places on each product, and check the ingredient list to make sure that you know what's in there. That is right. It's not. Everything is not good for your stomach. There are so many things that are harmful for your stomach, and we really don't know the components of the chemicals that you see in those ingredient lists anyway. Those chemicals are there as a preservative. And that's why they last so longer, because they're preservative. But we ourselves, when we make it, we don't put any preservatives in it. We just take the raw food and make it the way it is. And we hope that, if you keep it refrigerated or keep it in an airtight container, it will last a while. That's right, exactly. Yeah, it will hurt your system as well. You want to be so careful. So when I go to the store, the first thing I do, if there's something I need to buy, I will check the ingredient list to make sure it doesn't have anything in it that I don't want to put in my body. And like I said, carrageenan is the top one that I look for. And that seems to jump out at me. You've been making what? Vitamix broccoli and cheddar, you said? Awesome, Erlene. Broccoli and cheddar soup in the Vitamix is awesome. Yeah, I need to do that again too. It's awesome. But you got to check your ingredient list carefully, because those ingredients are so harmful to you. And you know, most people don't know how harmful they really are because they buy the products all the time, and they don't realize if they get sick, what they're getting sick from. They don't check it out. They go to the doctor, and the doctor really doesn't know what they're getting sick from, because they can't diagnose it either. They say, oh, you're sick or something, and they'll prescribe some kind of drug for you, which really isn't any better, And I don't need any doctor to tell me when I'm sick. I know when I'm sick. But if I'm sick, I look at something and I wonder, is it something that I ate that disagreed with me? It can be. A lot of the times we eat stuff that does not agree with us. We think it's okay. But when you get right down to it, it's not good at all. It may be okay going down, tastes good going down, but after it goes down and when it gets into your stomach, what happens then? What does it do then? Boy, it's amazing. I mean, if our stomachs could talk, can you imagine what our stomachs would say? Don't put that in me. I don't want that. If only it could talk, it would tell us a lot of what not to put into our stomachs. And we have to be so diligent to look at the recipes and look at the ingredients on everything that you buy. That's why I come in here and make vegan recipes. I tweak them and veganize them because I don't want to put a lot of that stuff in my body that is in those products. It's not good for you. Not good for you at all. And I don't want to undo what I've done before. Go back and change everything and go back to what I've weighed before. Yes, you have to. That's a good thing, Emil. You've got to read everything now. It's so important, especially if you have a family. Now, I live alone, but which is a not it shouldn't really matter. But just because I'm eating it, I'm not feeding it to anybody else, doesn't mean that I'm not going to be careful what I put in my body, which I am. If you have a family, most of all, when you have a family and children, you're going to want to be more diligent to follow the ingredient list and see what's in there if there's something that you don't like. And you know something? A lot of the stuff that you buy in the store you may think it's good for you. Like somebody was saying yesterday, the peanut butter has a lot of palm oil and stuff in it. You know what you can do? If you've got a good blender, get the PC blender or get a Vitamix or whatever. You can even probably do it in a food processor as well. Good food processor. Make your own peanuts. I did that a while back. And I did it on here. 2 cups of peanuts. You put it in the Vitamix. 2 cups of peanuts. And nothing else. Because you could put, and dry roasted peanuts, you could put salt on them and make peanut butter out of them. It is so good. That's true. That's true. I do have my ex-husband will come to visit on the holidays, so I want to make sure I'm not feeding him the wrong stuff either. So if I'm going to eat the correct stuff, anybody that comes to my house is going to eat the right stuff too. I don't want to give them the wrong stuff. But it's amazing how many people don't really read the ingredient list. They just put it right in their cart and could care less what it has in it. I have been, since I've been going on here, I cook a lot more than I used to, right? I enjoy it a lot. This really gives me pleasure. My son noticed that one day, and he says, Mom, I know that Periscope gives you a lot of pleasure going in there and cooking for other people, doesn't it? I says, yes, it does. He doesn't come in here, but he knows I do it. He says, well, if it makes you happy, that's what you should do. I enjoy doing it because you like coming in and watching me. You may not be vegan, which is fine, but you enjoy watching to see what I make, and you can tweak the recipe to your liking yourself. Do whatever you want. But people do like my recipes, and sometimes they make them and they follow them. I'm going to have to make Erlene's potato curry. That looks so good in the quick cooker. And the quick cooker really makes fast work of everything. I had fried potatoes today for lunch, so I could use my simple slicer again. Hi, Barnes. Good to see you. Here's my curry. There is my, it's just 4 ingredients. Very, very simple ingredients. If you have them in your pantry, which you probably should have, these spices in. Oh, yes, absolutely. And I'm not pushing my veganism on anybody, because that's not me. Alexis isn't vegan yet. She comes in here and watches my scopes, and I go in and watch hers live sometimes when I can, but most of the time I watch the replay. I watch hers too, even though she's not vegan. She's not trying to force her non-veganism on people, and I'm not trying to force my veganism on people. People can eat the way they like. However, she has made some things vegetarian and vegan for Erlene and I, which I appreciate that a lot. So, but I'm here to tell you that you can eat whichever way you like. I'm here to show you how I eat, what it's done for me, because it's helped me to lose weight, helped me to feel a lot better about myself. Because believe me, when I was overweight, which I'm still a little bit overweight, it's going to come off. It's not been too bad, Barnes. How's things with you? Are you finally on? I know you're finally out of rehab, but I'm glad to hear that you are. You have family and friends that are vegan? That's awesome. Yeah, so you'd want to feed them vegan food. My son is not vegan, however. They are vegetarians. They don't eat meat. However, my daughter-in-law, she fixes turkey on Thanksgiving. I don't eat it, though. Her family eats turkey. But my son was talking to me the other day, and he says, I'm going to try to convince her not to buy turkey anymore. I don't want her buying turkey for Thanksgiving. Right now, they're on Weight Watchers. And my son posted a picture on Facebook this morning. I can't show it to you now because my iPad's dead, but he's lost 41 pounds since May. He posted a picture of the way he looked at Christmas and the way he looks now. And I says, wow, my ever-shrinking son. They're all on Weight Watchers. He's lost about 41 pounds. My daughter-in-law, I think, has lost about 40, and my granddaughter, 30. My grandson, he poo-pooed the whole thing, and he isn't even trying to lose weight. He says he doesn't need Weight Watchers, but they're doing really, really well. And my son says, Mom, I can eat real food. but, just eat less of it. But I don't have to be on a diet. They count their points and everything. He figured he better start doing something. So Weight Watchers is working for them. Yeah, I thought it was awesome too. And I didn't know they were on Weight Watchers until he told me. And I thought, that's awesome. That they're really working hard at it. He is a painter by trade, and he goes up and down ladders. However, I told him, I says, well, I thought maybe going up and down the ladders would help you to lose. He says, no, not like Weight Watchers has. So, but they've been real diligent counting the points. And my sister, or my granddaughter, yeah, I know. My granddaughter, she just turned 17 in March. And my son says, she measures everything out. She will not take more than a tablespoon of mayonnaise and put it on her plate. That is it. She measures everything out. She's very diligent. She does not want to put the weight back on. So she will make sure that she's eating just the right proportions. And she's getting to look good too. So I think that's awesome. He says, they're not doing it like she is measuring everything out as much, but she's just taking and measuring her mayonnaise out, her oil out, and everything to make sure she doesn't get too much. So, that's awesome. It's great when people can take the initiative like that to lose weight. Well, I'm not on Weight Watchers. I'm just on a plant-based diet, and it's helped me. Everybody has a certain way of losing weight. Alexis is on Weight Watchers, and those that have been on Weight Watchers, and you've done real well, congratulations, because it does work if you stay on it long enough. Oh, yeah. Probably you're right. It's like Alexis said, proportion control. We have to have portion control because you can overdo it and take too much. And I agree. So that's probably why my granddaughter is taking her time to measure everything out because she doesn't want to eat too much. Because she started getting a little heavy, and I wasn't saying anything to her, but she looks so good now because she's on that Weight Watchers, and they're actually losing weight, and it's really helping them. I don't know how long they plan on being on it. I don't know what their goal is, but my son says he feels so much better. And oh my goodness, when I saw him Sabbath, I couldn't believe he looked so good. I could not recognize him because he's looking so much better. It's amazing what going on eating the right foods will do for you. They don't eat meat. They've stopped eating meat. They've stopped eating meat since my daughter-in-law had cancer back in 2012 because we almost lost her. She had stage 3 breast cancer. And she had like 27 lymph nodes removed, and we almost lost her, so they were really concerned then. So they have not been eating meat since then. The kids refuse to even touch it. They will not touch meat at all. So, it's amazing that on Thanksgiving, Ashley passes the plate of turkey to everybody else. I pass it around. My son and daughter-in-law pass it around. We let everybody else have it that wants it. And we'll take the vegan stuff or vegetarian or whatever, because she does make a vegetarian turkey loaf, and we'll eat that, and we'll eat all the good things and pass the turkey up. So it's amazing how good you feel after you've accomplished what you set out to do. I've accomplished what I set out to do. However, I know I would like to get down a little bit more. There's going to come a stopping point, though, probably, where I'm only going to be able to go so far, and it's not going to be able to go any further. I understand that. But I'm going to be doing the best I can to try to lose as much weight as I can. Believe me, I didn't put it on overnight, and I'm sure not going to take it off overnight. We all understand that, but we all realize we have to do something. And my daughter's starting to eat a little bit better now. She realizes that some of the stuff that she's been eating that she shouldn't be eating, so she's trying to cut back too. She still eats a little meat, but she says she won't eat as much meat as she has. She's cutting way back, which is really good, because she realizes that she probably shouldn't be having it. Her coming in my scopes and seeing what it's done for me, I think she wants it for herself as well. She wants to be able to lose weight and get down to a manageable size. It takes a while, but you got to be persistent at it and say, I can do this. And when I first started, I wondered if I could really do it. I said to myself, can I really do this? Am I capable of doing this? But I have. I've kept going, and I keep on going. And I'm going to keep going, too, as long as I can, because I feel really good about losing the weight, because I've got more energy. I sleep so much better at night, even though Carmen sleeps in my bed with me. I still sleep better at night, and I don't wake up and, except to go to the bathroom maybe in the middle of the night, and then when my ex-husband calls, 5 o'clock this morning, the phone rang, and it woke me up from a dead sleep. Okay, you take care, and thank you for coming in, and have a great day. I appreciate you. I appreciate every one of you that come in here. You know, I really do. But I tell you, if you can make your own food, bake it, because you're going to find that, man, when you make it yourself, it's so much better than going and buying processed food in the store. That processed food in the store, do you realize how much processing it's gone through? Way too much, let me tell you. And the chemicals in there are not good. I don't like the foods that have gone through that much processing. We don't want to put that kind of food in our body like that. The chemicals, they're harmful. And that's why people are getting sick. They don't realize it. The chemicals are hurting them, but yet they don't realize that. So if you can take time at all, do check the ingredient list and read it. And make sure that you read it carefully. Now, sometimes there's a real long list like this, and I'll just kind of skim it because I'm looking for that carrageenan. That's the one thing I'm looking for. And even then, sometimes with all the ingredients on there, and I don't see the carrageenan, I'm thinking, well, that's way too many ingredients, and I don't think I should have this, so I'm just going to put it back. You know, I think the fewer the ingredients, like 4 or 5 on a product is enough. But when they start getting a real long list of ingredients, then you got to go through all those. And I'm shaking my head and scratching my head saying, well, what in the world is this? How do you pronounce it? And you know what I say? If you can't pronounce it, you don't want to put it in your body, which is so true. Don't put anything in your body you can't pronounce, because you do not know the effects of it on your body. Well, you may find out, but a little too late. So you want to do something about it before that happens. Because I think we'd have a lot less sickness in the world if people would take the time to read their ingredients and know what they're putting in their body before they put it in their mouth. Check, before you put that fork in your mouth or that spoon, what are you putting in there? You better check to make sure that you're not putting anything in your mouth that's going to be harming your body. Because once it goes in, you can't get it out unless you do whatever, and I won't tell you what it is, but, and that's too bad. By that time, the harm may be done. You don't want to make it any worse. So you want to try to undo the harm that you've done to your body by starting to eat the proper foods. I know it's going to be hard for some people to become vegan, and that's fine, because I wasn't sure I was going to do it either. But I thought it's necessary. After the way I looked, I mean, my goodness, I was 250 pounds. I looked terrible. I felt terrible. My face looked like a balloon. My waist was horrible. My clothes were so big on me, and I thought, I've got to do something about this weight. But I don't recommend anybody do what I did, and that is go off of everything cold turkey. You should go off a little bit at a time. But I wanted to get it off. So I started going off of the meat, the cheese, the eggs, the milk, all at once. Do I miss it? No. I have never missed it. I don't miss it, and I'm not going back to it. Sure, there's sometimes you slip up. You may go to a potluck that has something in it that you shouldn't be having, but then you go back home the next day, and you go back home the next day, you start all over again and say, well, shouldn't have had that. But that's the way it goes sometimes. Not all people eat the way we do. But, I'm sticking by my plant-based diet because I feel so much better. I know that's what I should be doing, because that's what was given us in the garden anyway, was plants, and, it's not going to harm us. I don't want to eat those animals and put them in position where they're going to have to be killed for me. And when I see them in the grocery shelf, I feel really sad. I start crying to know what those animals went through to have to die for you and me, be put on our grocery table. So I won't eat them. I don't need them anyway. I've gotten along, as you can see, pretty well without it. And I'm going to continue to get along without it. I mean, I can substitute meat and use lentils for meat. You can also use quinoa. And chickpeas are real good too. So my substitutions are those. They're real good substitutions. They're better for you. Healthy. You want to start eating healthy. And my daughter, she's trying to get on a healthy level too, that she wants to eat real healthy. It takes time, but if you tell yourself you can do it, you can do it. You just have to be motivated enough to do it. See, her husband works during the day, so when she eats lunch, she can have anything for lunch that she wants, because he's not there to eat it. So if she wants to eat something vegan or something with no meat, she can do it. He's not there. Supper's a little bit different, though, because her family eats meat. Now, the boys don't so much, but he does. But she is cutting back and not eating as much as she has. Now, my son-in-law, he can't do without his meat. That's the way it is with a lot of people. Some have been raised on it, and they can't give it up. It's very hard. I know it was hard for me, too, because I was raised on meat. I ate meat my whole life until I all of a sudden just took it out of my diet and got rid of it. You know, and it wasn't easy, but now the longer it's been, the easier it's been for me to say I don't need it anymore. And I don't, because I get my protein from my fruits and my veggies. I had a nice bowl. I had peaches, and I'll show you the size peaches I have, too. They're big. These peaches are pretty good size. I've had some bigger than this. But I'll take the peach and I'll cut it in half and I'll pit it. And I cut it up and I put it in a bowl, in a bowl like this. And then I took a banana this morning that was starting to get a little ripe. And I cut it up. So I had a bowl of peaches and bananas and some toast this morning. That was my breakfast. And it was a real good breakfast because these peaches are nice and ripe. And the bananas are nice and ripe. So if you're really hungry for something, get yourself out a fruit and eat it. Or maybe eat some carrots as a snack. Or my son, he's, hi, good to see you, welcome. My son will take cucumber slices in his lunch. He will take those in his lunch and have them as a snack, which are real good too. I've got my simple slicer. All I have to do is slice them up with a simple slicer into a bowl and maybe put a little olive oil on or something, or just eat them the way they are. Because I don't want to cut them too thick, so I use a simple slicer to cut them just the right size. For those that are just coming in, here's my curry powder that's homemade with 4 spices: cardamom, turmeric, cumin, and coriander. Now you can use ginger powder as an option, as well as cayenne pepper, which I don't have either one. I don't like cayenne pepper because it's too hot. Well, you drink too much pop. You know what I do? I just drink water. I know a lot of people can't just live on water. They say, well, I don't want to drink water because I rust. And that's I've heard that before. And that's a funny saying to make because our bodies are made up of water. You could probably drink some fruit juice, or if you want to, make a smoothie. That might help you get away from pop. Start drinking smoothies or start drinking fruit juice. Drink a lot of water. You'll absolutely get rid of it then. Well, this is a curry powder that I made. I don't like buying things in the store. I'd rather make it myself. So I made this. My daughter found this recipe on Pinterest this morning, so she sent it to me. And when she sent it to me and I saw what went into it, I thought, well, that's awesome. Nothing hot in here because everything that's in here I use in other foods. It's got 2 tablespoons of ground turmeric, 2 tablespoons of ground coriander, 1 tablespoon of ground cumin, and 1 teaspoon of ground cardamom. And that's all it's got in it. Very simple ingredients. No heat to it whatsoever. You can add cayenne pepper if you want it hot. That's the Indian style, I guess, and ginger powder. So it's got the 4 simple ingredients in there. And I'm going to post this up on my vegan Facebook page for those that want to make it themselves. But it does, and you've got to store this in an airtight container, and it keeps in an airtight container for 2 months. It'll keep real well. And this will be used in different recipes that call for curry, because I have found some recipes on Pinterest that I wanted to make that had curry in them, but I didn't have the curry powder, and I didn't want to buy it because I'm not sure what it has in it, and I don't like the heat. So now that I've made this myself, I can just use it. And you only use a little bit of it at a time. But I'm going to start, when I get off of here, I'm going to go back on Pinterest and look for some more recipes again. You love curry? I had curry when I was in Hawaii. When I lived in Hawaii, we had curry. But there it was real hot and spicy. And it was so hot and spicy, whatever they had it in, I couldn't eat very much of it. And I just, it was terrible. I'd have to keep drinking water because it was so hot. Because a lot of people love spice, but I don't. I don't do well. It doesn't set good on my stomach, so I like things mild. So this is a mild curry. It's an easy, very easy curry to make. If you want to make it yourself, just follow me on Facebook. Go to my vegan Facebook page. There's recipes posted on there. It is a vegan page, so if you find something vegan to make, just post it in there. My daughter's posted a recipe that she had made for hummus, red pepper hummus, and she posted it in there, which I haven't tried yet, but no, This is just curry powder. Oh yeah, burning. Yeah, you can burn up from the curry that's got cayenne pepper in it. Oh my goodness, yes. Oh man. Oh, I know what you mean. No. Hi, good to see you. Welcome. Now this is the spice curry powder. It depends on what I'm making and what this goes into, what kind of liquid you use, whether you use coconut milk or what you use, because there are different recipes out there that have curry in them. I just wasn't sure what I was going to make until I could make the curry powder, because I wasn't going to buy it because I don't like the looks of it. It's awful hot, and I don't like heat. So I thought I'd make it myself, and that way I've got it, and I can put it in the recipes that I found on Pinterest, because I found a few of them on there this morning that have curry and that in it. Like I said, Erlene had made a potato curry that she posted on my vegan Facebook page. That absolutely looks delicious. She made it in a quick cooker. That looks so awesome. And it really looks good. I mean, Alexis took it and showed the picture of her curry this morning on her page. And I had on her Periscope, and I had not seen I had not seen Erlene's recipe up to that point. And when I saw that, I said, hey, that's awesome. So I went on Facebook and looked at it, and oh man, that looks so good. So if you can make the things yourself, that's the best thing to do. Make it yourself. You know what's in it, and you can take the recipe and tweak it to your liking, because they're meant to be tweaked. Well, not until you messaged me, and I told you in the messenger. Oh, when you messaged me, I was going to make it. Remember, I told you I was going to make curry powder. And you said, okay. So I thought maybe you caught on that I was making the curry powder. So, but you can take this, Erlene, and you can make the curry powder and store it. You made it at 5 a.m. Well, I wasn't planning on making this today. I didn't know what I was going to make today, and I was on Pinterest looking for recipes, and my daughter come across this curry powder. And she says, Mom, I saw an easy curry powder that has no spices in it, or, hot spices. And she told me what it had in it. She said, I'll send it to you. So she sent it to me on Pinterest, and I went and pinned it so I'd have the recipe. And I'm glad she did, because this is awesome, So now you have a different recipe, Erlene. If you want to try this with the cardamom, turmeric, cumin, and coriander, you can. It doesn't have any chili powder in it. Chili powder has a little tendency to be a little hot sometimes too, I think. So you can make this and make your soup taste real good too. Anything that you make. Yeah, I know you always get up early and you make everything real early in the morning, but it looked awesome. But I know when you messaged me this morning, I told you what I was going to make when I came on. It was a little spicy? Oh, no. Oh, man. Oh, yeah, you'll have to. This is going to be a lot simpler. This won't be spicy. We know cumin can be overpowering, but let me just tip my finger in here and let me see what it tastes like. It's mild. It's not bad at all. Very mild. It's not hot, and that's what I like. It's not hot. The cumin is going to be, you're going to taste the cumin more than anything because that's got the most in it. But you got your turmeric for the color, and then you got your coriander, and then you got your cardamom. So this is not spicy at all. So if you want to make this one and put it in your soup, you can go right ahead, because this will be a lot better and it won't be spicy. And that's what I've been looking for, something that's not spicy, because I hate spicy stuff. Let me step away from the camera for just a minute because I've got to blow my nose. I'll be right back. Okay, I'll wash my hands now. I'll be right with you. I'm going to wash my hands. Okay, there we go. All right, now, sorry about that, but anyway, you make your own. You know exactly what you have. You don't have to worry about it having something in it that you don't like. You can put the ginger powder in it, and you can put the cayenne pepper in it. Now, if you don't like heat, I don't think I would put. I would put the cayenne pepper in it. Now that was optional, and I wasn't about to put that in there because I don't care for cayenne pepper because it's really hot. So I wanted something that's mild. Yes, they're all in powder form. I use the turmeric up, but this is the ground cumin, the ground coriander, the ground cardamom, and my turmeric. I just used it up, and that was in here. And they were all in powder form. And I just put it in this bowl, this Pampered Chef bowl I got from, the stoneware. And just mix it around with a spoon, and then it goes into an airtight container for a couple months. I will give you the recipe again. I'm going to post this on my vegan page so you know exactly how much of each to put in. 2 tablespoons of ground turmeric, 2 tablespoons of ground coriander, 1 tablespoon of ground cumin, and 1 teaspoon of ground cardamom. Simple as can be. Very, very simple. And you'll have a nice curry powder that you'll have for recipes that call for curry, because there are a lot out there now that are calling for curry. And I wasn't about to buy it. I didn't have any, so I just went away from those recipes and said, well, I hope I can find them again, and when I get the curry powder made. But when my daughter found this for me, I thought, this is awesome, because I did find a recipe, and I don't remember what it was anymore, but it had curry in it, and it looked so good. But I said, I've got to get some curry powder first or make my own. I'm up for making my own if I can make it. Why not? Because you know what's in it that way, and you have it on hand. You don't have to worry about going out and buying it until it's done for, you know, because it just takes certain spices, and I keep all the my spice rack is full of spices. I'm continually adding more spices all the time. So, oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. This is a very simple recipe. As you can see, the turmeric give it the pretty color. It's awesome, and it's going to be so easy. And it's going to be a nice powder to put in any recipe that calls for curry. So try it. You might like it. I'm going to go ahead and go off of here now, so I can get ready to post this up on my vegan Facebook page. I'll hold this up as my final shot. But I hope you all have a great and marvelous day. And I don't know what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. Hard to say, but I'll keep looking for another recipe. So I'm going to tell you bye for now. And I hope your today is a blessed one, what's ever left of it. And until we meet again, take care. God bless. Love you all, and bye-bye.